Seeing Joshua trees has long been on my adventure to-do list, but when I did research online, I learned that there are many places to see them outside of Joshua Tree National Park. And, in fact, some of these places are reported to have more Joshua trees and bigger Joshua trees than the park itself. That led to today's adventure. I am exploring Aviquame National Monument, which is one of the newest national monuments in America. It was protected in 2023 by President Joe Biden under the Antiquities Act. Aviquame is home to some of the most spectacular examples of the Mojave Desert landscape, including this beautiful Joshua tree forest, which has some of the oldest Joshua trees that exist. Several indigenous tribes also consider this land to be their place of origin and a place of great spiritual significance. There are not many trails here, so I have planned my own route and I'm looking for a place to camp. There are a lot of nice sandy kind of open spots, but I'm gonna have to make sure I watch out for cactus spines and rodent holes. Wearing long pants and boots here is essential. Although the cacti are easy to see, so it looks like you can avoid them, there's lots of spines on the ground and the spines have been getting stuck in my pants. I think just from getting kicked up by my boots. These spines are so impressive. Each one is over an inch long. They are very sturdy, very sharp. Little clumps that have fallen off the cacti like this are all over the ground. They kind of look like sea urchins. I'm gonna have to make sure one of those guys doesn't spike my tent when I set it up. Found this sandy area. This looks like the most promising so far. I think this is going to be quite perfect. The bushes are so dense on the ground that it's kind of hard to find space for a tent. I had seen online recently some people complaining about the footprint size of the Durston tents, which is funny because I really love my Durston tent, and that was the first time that I ever saw criticism of it, and I was like, oh, you know, they do have a point. It does take up a lot of room. I am not sure if I'm ready for cowboy camping yet. I'll have to try that at some point, but tonight I do have my tent, so I'm excited that I found this little area that I think is going to work. Sun is starting to go down and it is golden hour among the Joshua trees. This is so beautiful. Is all set up and it's time for dinner before sunset. I'm gonna walk a little ways along this sandy wash so that I cook away from my tent. I did bring a bear can with me. There's no bears, but there are rodents and ravens. I've heard stories of rodents getting into people's food in the desert. People do use the sack, which is lighter, but I just see so many reviews of it not working, so I wanted to be extra sure. Brought the bear can to be safe. I always forget that the sun goes down a bit faster behind the mountains. Sunset is supposed to be, I think, around 6:30 or so. It's about 5, but it feels like it's getting really dark because it is going down behind that mountain range. That's okay. That's what headlamps are for. Tonight I'm eating the Alpine Fare Wild Mushroom Alfredo. Good morning. It is now the next day. I'm going to have some breakfast before packing up my tent and doing some more exploring. I'm planning to walk in the direction of that mountain peak for a while and see if I can explore some of those foothills. I had a great night out here. It was very quiet. There was the occasional wind gust, but nothing too bad. One thing that was interesting is my tent stakes did rip up once when a really strong wind gust blew. So I put the tent stake back in and I lumped some sand over it to help it stay put. There were some coyotes running around last night, so that was always entertaining as usual. One other thing that was kind of interesting is this place is about an hour away from Vegas, and the light pollution from Vegas lit up the whole sky pretty much. Even in the midst of the night after the moon had set, there was a really intense sky glow. I had heard previously that you can see the light pollution from Las Vegas for a really far way away, but I hadn't gotten to experience that before. So it was interesting to see just how intense it is, and what happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas. This is the breakfast that I do pretty much every time if it's not too hot to keep cream cheese. It's a bagel with cream cheese and tea. My site is all packed up. I've left no trace, and now I'm ready for some more exploration. I have not done a whole lot of this off-trail exploration yet. I started doing it just for a little bit the first time last year, but this trip is more extensive. It's really exciting because you have no idea what you're going to find when you're not walking on a trail. On a trail, usually there's landmarks that you've been told to watch out for, but here I really have no idea what I'm going to see. Here's an animal burrow. I'm gonna avoid that. I was very excited to spot a huge jackrabbit. It ran very fast. I could not catch it on camera. Okay, I was able to rip my pant leg back and take the cactus out of my leg. But now I know that you can't touch it with your hand because then it'll stick to your hand. So I have to find a way to remove it from my pants and then see what the damage is on my leg. That was crazy. I was not even near the cactus, but the little clump was on the ground. I think I stepped on it and kicked it up somehow. That's why they call them jumping cactus. And it just went right onto my pants, went through them, spiked me in the leg. It was intense. I've actually kind of been getting into the trail runners for hiking thing, but I'm really glad I wore these boots because the cacti are vicious. I've also seen some burrows. I'm not sure what animal they belong to, but I know that the desert tortoises live in burrows underground. I've been hoping to see one, haven't quite spotted one yet. They are endangered, mostly due to habitat loss, but they live in the Mojave Desert and Mojave Preserve and in this area as well. So hopefully I'll get a glimpse of one at some point on this trip.